Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I want to talk to you about a brand that I think deserves a lot more recognition, and it's the brand of Rogue Perfumery. Just to get this out of the way, I'm not affiliated with the brand in any way. You won't find, an affiliate link in the description. I wanted to talk to you about Rogue Perfumery today because they just do what they do so well, and I suppose I'll tell you a little bit about the brand. So, the brand of Rogue Perfumery, I'll show you this fragrance in a little bit, was started in 2005 by a guy called Manuel Cross. He worked as a chef for a long time, and one of his favorite perfumes got discontinued. They stopped making it. And he understandably got a little pissed off, but he started doing some self taught perfumery, and it turned into Rogue Perfumery. They do small batch artisanal fragrances, and they have a specific focus on vintage or classic leaning masculine and feminine perfumes. And I really credit him with keeping the traditional sort of fragrance alive in its true glory. He uses real oak moss, uses super high quality ingredients in general. And from a value perspective, he really cares about people of like all different needs and wants. He has small bottles for people like me that have a pretty extensive collection, but he also offers, larger bottles for people that really just want a signature scent to wear every single day to work or what have you. So I'm just going to talk to you about four of my favorites from this brand, and let's get right into it. All right, the first perfume I want to talk to you about is probably the entry point for Rogue Perfumery for many, many people. And it is I think I can safely say, very famous at this point, Bon Monsieur. This is your classic Fougere fragrance. This is a day starter. This is a signature scent. You could wear this every single day for any situation you're in, and nobody would really bat an eye. The overall vibe of this perfume is just very professional, clean cut, elegant, but not really trying too hard. You get this beautiful, crisp, uplifting combination of, well, I get citrus and lavender with this sort of clean white musk feel, and then it dries down for me on my skin to this sort of nondescript, maybe cedarwood, sandalwoody base. If I had to compare it to something more common, I would say it's kind of like Chanel Platinum Egoist, but this in my opinion blows Platinum Egoist completely out of the water. Um, this is such an amazing start to your day. Like whenever I wear this, and I put a significant amount of wear in for this perfume. I mean, that might not look like much, but when you have a collection like mine with so many different options, um, that really speaks to how much I really enjoy this. So, if you're looking for something that is just an easy wear, but it isn't boring and is really high quality, I would really suggest checking out Bon Monsieur. And now to something totally different that expresses why I love Rogue Perfumery and Manuel Cross so much. Sometimes he does completely unapologetic, just overtly, almost comically masculine fragrances. And this is Mousse Illuminee. This is a real throwback to those massive green, manly, masculine smells of, I think, like the 70s and 80s period. Um, I get a ton of oak moss, incense, artemisia, this big green textured cloud in the air. And even though it's an eau de toilette, Mousse Illuminate is no slouch when it comes to performance. This stuff, at least in my opinion, is very, very potent, at least for a couple hours. It calms down in the wear experience a little later on, but I just took the cap off this bottle without even really moving it. I can smell it from about 7 inches away from my face. That says a lot to a perfume strength, at least in my opinion. If I could smell it without even spraying it from like almost a foot away, it's really strong. But anyway, the smell, you have to like oak moss, okay? Like I said, this is unapologetic. This is green. This is textured. This is almost fuzzy with the mossiness. It has a beautiful combination of incense smoke tones combined with the natural smokiness of the oak moss itself. It has more green qualities up front with the artemisia. I think there's bay leaf in here. It's slightly herbaceous. It's slightly woody. It's just an amazing, unbelievable, just if you signature scent this stuff, you're a complete G, basically. Like I respect that decision because If there's one thing this perfume does really well, it is a decisive choice. Okay, wearing Mousse Illuminee is like, damn, you really know what you like, and that's why again I really enjoy this brand so much. He gives you things that are maybe, love hates, but if you love it, you just really appreciate that it even exists. So that's Mousse Illuminee, big green oak moss bomb. The next one I want to talk to you about is called Chypre Siam. I mentioned this brand really likes to do its classic leaning perfumes, and a Chypre structure is very, very classic leaning. What you get with this one is a more transitional wear experience. It really goes through a lot of different stages. Up front, you're going to get hit with this massive blast of kaffir lime. And kaffir lime apparently is a vintage note in and of itself. You don't really find many perfumes with a note of lime these days, but let alone kaffir lime. It's this very particular sort of rindy, sweet smelling lime, and it is really to die for, in my opinion. Um, and then as you wear it a little more, as it goes through the transitions, you get a lot of jasmine. I get a little bit of ylang ylang, which can come off as like creamy. Some people say it's banana like. I don't really get that, but there is definitely a lot of florals in the mid. Namely, jasmine is the one that I pick up. And then it dries down to this woody oak moss base. It's not as smoky as something as like Mousse Illuminate, but you definitely get that green woody oak moss. It's just a beautifully done, very readable, understandable Chypre, and I think it can also be worn daily, but maybe it's a little bit heavier than something like Bon Monsieur. And last but certainly not least, I want to talk to you about one that actually tries to do a very popular fragrance DNA on the market. This is Fougere Laube. Fougere Laube can be categorized as basically Manuel Cross's take on something like Davidoff Coolwater and Creed Green Irish Tweed, which are, of course, pretty much men's staples in Fragcom at this point, but for very different price points. In my opinion, Fougere Laube kind of takes the DNA and upgrades it. I do prefer Fougere Laube to both Green Irish Tweed and Coolwater because I just perceive a quality difference. So what do you get with the smell? You get this extremely sharp, and I mean like very sharp, sort of grassy, ozonic, uplifting, citrusy, clean smell. And it you pick up lavender, you pick up this very particular herbaceous quality, and it just comes off as like overtly clean. If you want to smell clean, this is probably even better than Bon Monsieur. It doesn't really have that heavier base. It doesn't really have something that could come across as mossy or even necessarily woody. It's just to my nose, it's a very sharp, clean smelling fragrance. But it doesn't go into the territory of like laundry musk. It doesn't go into the territory of something that's like shower gel or something boring, or maybe not boring, but something, more common that you would find nowadays. It has this very very particular DNA that was definitely made famous by Green Irish Tweed in Coolwater, but I just think this particular take is sort of the ultimate version of that DNA. All right, guys, so that is going to wrap up this video for today. Let me know if you've tried anything from Rogue Perfumery and what your favorites are from the house. I will leave all of the fragrance names in the description as well as on the screen. And of course, if you enjoy the channel, if you want to watch more content like this, I have a ton more videos on the way. Amouage, ranking videos, Serge Lutens. I'll, of course, do videos on anything new that I'll sample. So lots of stuff coming to the channel. Hit the sub button. Be sure to hit the like button. Hit the hype button if it's available. And I will see you guys in the next video.